what we want to do today is take up your questions. Okay, all of you are from different backgrounds, so just open up your mic, ask whatever questions you have, and we'll answer those questions for you. Okay, I'll probably maybe type it down here as well, just so that we don't miss any questions.
Yes.
Probably spend about 35 to 40 minutes today. Okay, anything is fair game. Don't worry, we'll not send this out to your manager. So whatever you want to do, you can freely ask us.
Yeah, please send it across.
Hi.
Yeah.
I have some questions. I live in US, so can you please explain the scope of data science in US? Like, I have few questions about how it works in US. So let me ask the questions. So what skills are highly used in data science? I mean, in day-to-day job?
Very good. We'll come back to that. Anybody else quickly? Any of your questions so that we go one by one?
And what are the challenges that are faced?
Okay.
In data science jobs?
Very good.
Excellent. Okay. What else?
What are the requirements to get into data science jobs or data analyst jobs?
Yeah,
okay, all right.
That's pretty
so
much
Chandana,
the
that
question too.
Question 2 will cover that, right? Okay. So excellent. So I hope these are questions other people have in mind as well. So cover that. What else? Rohit, Ishpreet, Priyanka.
If you have anything on the chat window, folks, please feel free to write down there as well. We'll take that in a sequence.
Hi. So I have this question. Since I'm a beginner, I just surfed through the web and I saw what are the skills required, but I don't know the pathway or the navigation of it, what comes afterward, and how creative one should be in this field.
Okay, roadmap and how creative you should be in your data science learning journey. Okay. Very good. I'm liking the questions, folks. Thank you for asking all of these.
So what are your suggestions for upcoming data analysts or data scientists?
Okay. Suggestion for upcoming data science or data analytics roles that you said, right? Data analyst kind of roles. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Chandana, when you say upcoming, what do you mean? So somebody who is trying to enter into this field?
Exactly. Since I'm still doing my master's, if I wanted to get into a data science job or a data analyst role, so what are the suggestions you give for the upcoming graduate students? Or
Sure. Yeah. Good. Excellent.
Brilliant questions.
Okay, the others are quite...
Okay, so there's a question on the chat window. Are there generic data science thing or industry specific? Could you be pretty specific about the question? Is it that you mean the data science related to retail data science, BFSI? Do you mean that? Then the answer is yes, we'll explain about it. But if there is anything else, you can elaborate your question. The question was, is there data science which is industry specific, right? Then
is this probably what he's asking, right? Is data science generic or specific to a domain? So when I learn something,
correct,
do I need to, is different domains have different kind of techniques, right? I probably.
Right. And
probably that's.
Yes. And there is another question, like every industry has their own set of requirements. Okay, so it's all related to the same thing. We'll cover the requirement skills, we'll cover that. Industry specific things we'll cover. Then there is another question on the chat window. Sachin, sir, I'm from Delhi and would be soon starting my career this course, so that what are likely best colleges in Delhi And what subjects should I have strong for data science course? Okay, so good data science courses, career options in Delhi specifically, Delhi NCR region, that's what you're looking at probably. Okay, that was the question. Anything else?
Right, I think we have Jay as well. Hi Jay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thanks, Jay, for
Excellent.
joining.
Thank you for joining, Jay. All right, good folks. So these are good questions. Anything else?
So,
You can of course come.
yeah.
Mhm.
What are the key
Go ahead.
factors that promotes professional development?
Okay.
Okay.
And probably we'll cover some of these in the skills required and challenges faced, okay, and roadmap, Chandana. All right, so those will be covered.
Yeah.
When we talk about that. But so most of your questions, Chandana, I see are around, career development and skill requirements. What do I need to learn and so on, right? So
Exactly.
we'll cover them in a holistic manner. Good. All right. Excellent. So this is fine. Now,
Dipankar,
we'll
thanks for
take this
joining.
one by one. Hi, Dipankar. How are you?
Thanks for joining.
Hi, Sachin. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, glad you could join. So just started, Dipankar, these are some of the questions. You yourself are an experienced data science professional. Dipankar is a manager data science in Absolute Data in Delhi. So these are some of the questions, Dipankar, that the audience has. Do you have any questions? Or you're here just to, maybe help out others?
Sure. I'll go with the flow. You can continue, and if I have any further thing to add, I can definitely add upon. Thank you.
Wonderful. Great.
Good. Excellent. Yeah. And Jay, will request you also to share your thoughts. Okay. So for everyone, Jay is the Senior Vice President of Data Science in a company called Course 5i. It's a data science product development company, and he's a very good friend and colleague of ours. So Jay, thank you so much for joining. Your thoughts will be very valuable as well. All right, folks. So we'll take these questions one by one. Okay, these are very good questions. I think we can spend, probably
Absolutely.
2 hours on these, but we'll not do that. Before we go there, can we take 2-3 minutes and just talk about ourselves? About Kamal and me, if you guys are interested in knowing our career journey.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. So let me talk about, I'll introduce Kamal. So very, very happy to introduce him. So Kamal Mishra, he's currently the co-founder and director of this company, AccelerateAI. So we both are partners into this. 20 years of corporate experience, and he has primarily been into field of data. Okay, so he has managed big data science teams, software engineering teams. He had managed large teams. You have also looked at product management, looking at client relationships, and so on. He is also a certified master data scientist from the Open Group. The Open Group, if you don't know, it's a consortium of multiple companies like IBM, Oracle, and so on, which have created this group called the Open Group, and they have a requirement where people have to submit some of those requirements, and then they certify people as data scientists and master data scientists and so on, right? So there are different levels and so on. So master data scientist is one of the highest levels in that. Kamal has also, so somebody was asking about innovation, right? So Kamal has 2 patents and 4 publications to his name in the field of data science, and he writes regularly on medium.com as well. Okay, his experience primarily has been into banking and financial services. Beginning from his Infosys days, where he has worked on Finacle, if you are aware of that, that's a core banking product. And then he has moved into retail and consumer goods and manufacturing and so on. So currently, as I said, he is the co-founder of this company, AccelerateAI, where we are trying to revolutionize and democratize data science knowledge. As you can see, there are lakhs and lakhs of jobs open, but when people want to apply for those jobs, or when companies want to hire, it always takes a very, very long time, okay, anywhere between 3 to 6 months. And we believe that there's a big gap in the market right now in terms of education, in terms of people upgrading themselves. Data science is a very upcoming field. Okay, so that's what we are trying to solve, and that's where Kamal is also trying to solve this problem. He also mentors people on upgrad and great learning on his free time. Most recently, Kamal was the vice president of data science in Accenture, where he led a very big team of probably 100+ people and looked after the delivery of those data science solutions for clients. These clients are primarily in North America. Prior to that, Kamal and I, we both were colleagues in IBM, where he was a group manager, and he worked in the field of predictive analytics, and with some of the big financial clients, some of the big names, as well as in many different areas in IT and risk management and so on. Okay, and prior to that, he was the associate vice president and part of the leadership team or India leadership team in KPIT Technologies. Kamal is a graduate from ISB Hyderabad, so he has done his course in business analytics. It's a PG level program of about 15 months. Prior to that, he did his general management from IIM Calcutta, and he's a computer science graduate from UC Burla, Odisha. Right, so a lot of experience, both from an academic perspective as well as from industry perspective.
Thank you so much, Sachin.
So Kamal, very nice.
Thank you so much. I mean, thanks for elaborating all of these things. Really thankful to you. Let me take the honors to quickly introduce Sachin. I'm really honored to have him as my co-founder, and we have been in this journey of AccelerateAI. If I look at, he has been a brilliant individual, not only from the data science side, but very astute into some of the core fundamentals of entire journey that he has been. Overall, more than 18 years of industry experience, has been into data science, machine learning, big data analytics, and has led a lot of large engagements, digital transformation engagements across various organizations. His experience has been predominantly into some of the financial services, where he has dealt with commodity trading, derivative trading, supply chain and logistics, a lot of maritime and trade related use cases, a lot of into the retail and CPG e-commerce related use cases. Very, very instrumental in building team from scratch to large engagements. Apart from the co-founder here in AccelerateAI, his recent roles, if we look at, he has been heading the data science at IHS Markit, which is pretty much focusing on maritime and trade division. And there are a lot of aspects in terms of the product development in data science to really create impacts of the large engagements, large industry players, huge amount of value add he was able to establish for some of these customers. Prior to that, he was with me as a colleague. We both have been there in IBM Global Services as he was as a group manager. Then prior to that, he has spent significant amount of time as an AVP in analytics at Accenture. That was the recent roles. And if you look at education, he has been bachelor's in technology from IIT Kanpur, where his focus has been in robotics and related areas. He has also done MBA from US UGA, which is the top public university in US. And he also has done a 1-year big data analytics program, which is a PG level program from IIM Bangalore, and has been very close to Professor Dinesh and all that stuff. And recently, he also in his off time, he acts as a adjunct faculty support as a professor in the university, Dayanand Sagar University here in Bangalore, right? So it's been a great privilege with his tremendous experience in the field of data science, applied field of data science, which he has been focusing on for the last 10 plus years. I'd be really happy to have him on board here, and I'm sure his experience would be a true value to some of your questions. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Kamal. So, now you probably know us slightly better. We'll also tell you why we have started Accelerate AI, right? As I was saying, so we used to hire a lot of people, right? Both Kamal and I used to hire a lot of people for data science roles. And we felt that, there's a big gap in terms of good skills in data science, okay? People will talk about deep learning and, I know RNN and CNN, but when you ask them simple questions like, how does an outlier affect a linear regression model, people are not able to answer those basic things, right? And that's where we felt that there is, we have an obligation to maybe go and fulfill that gap, right? India right now is not doing very well in terms of data science and artificial intelligence. If you look at US and China and many European countries, they're doing very, very well. Okay, but there is a big scope, and data science and AI is the future of jobs. Okay, and it's also the present of jobs. But in India, there are coaching institutes, there are online courses, there are training institutes, but most of them are just about making money. And we felt that there is something that we can do here. Kamal and I were making a lot of more money, in our corporate jobs, right? But we left that just so that since we are very, very passionate about this field and we want people to have good education, right? We want India to do well in data science and AI. Okay. So from that background, that's why we started this, whole organization of Accelerate AI. And, our idea is to revolutionize the way data science is being taught and create great data scientists in India, for India. Okay. All right. So we'll now start taking up questions one by one. Kamal, if you allow me, I'll take the first one.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So the first question was about scope of data science in USA. So I worked in US for about 3 years, and I think this question was from Chandana, right? So, my analytics journey, we didn't call data science at that time. This was prior to the data science era where it was called analytics. Okay. So my analytics journey started in data science. I did an MBA in marketing and information systems from US, but I joined marketing analytics for FedEx Corporation in US. Okay. So data and data science has always been a growth driver in the US, okay, and now more so. As you will see, most of the top companies these days, right? You talk about FANG, or now it's no more FANG, but it's probably MANG or whatever it is, and all these companies, all the new age companies. The reason they are doing so well is because of data and data science. Okay. So there is huge scope right now. And as I was saying, an average data scientist salary in India is probably 10 times, what it is in India today, right? Not many CEOs are paid 1 crore, but an average data scientist in US and Silicon Valley is paid 1 crore in Indian rupee terms. Okay. So that's what it is. More and more companies are getting into it. So initial where the new age digital companies like the Facebooks and Amazons and so on, and many companies in the financial domain, like your Chase and all those companies which got into this bandwagon of data science in the 1980s, 90s, 2000s, and so on. Okay. Some companies which didn't use data very well, they perished, right? So as an example, Yahoo, which was very, very good in terms of coming up with certain things like Hadoop, as an example. Okay. So Hadoop is something that was developed internally in Yahoo. But nobody knows Yahoo these days, right? Because, what they felt was that they focus more on technology and not so much on the business aspect of how I can use data, the way Google uses data. Okay. Yahoo did not really look at it from that perspective. So now what's happening is, all the other industries, okay, your manufacturing and pharmaceutical, healthcare, travel, transportation, all these companies are now starting to use data science, okay. FedEx started using data science a long ago, right? So the first use of handwriting recognition using CNN was something that was implemented in FedEx for sorting packages, right? Packages where people used to write addresses. They built robots to read those addresses, figure out what the zip code is, and then the robots would sort them out, right? So, that's how we started using it. Now UPS, FedEx, and all these companies are using it a lot. So tremendous scope of data science in US, and it's only going to grow more and more. Okay, Chandana, so hopefully I have answered your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, Kamal, take the second one.
Yeah, sure. I think this is what skills are used in data science, right, in a day-to-day job. It's probably a question where we can talk about it for an hour, okay. But I'll touch upon few critical points and aspects of it, right. See, one is some of the, always when you look at something, you look at some of the technical skills. Second, you look at some of the domain related expertise. Third, you look at some of the behavioral skills, or some of the add-on skills that we would say, right? So it's a combination of all of that for us to be successful in the data science various specific roles across the board, right? So if we start looking at it, there are a few things. First, you should look at data visualization and data analysis related skills. That is extremely important in data science, because if you look at in any data science program, end-to-end program, we spend 50 to 60% of our time in initial business understanding, data understanding, your exploratory data analysis, feature engineering, all of this stuff. Before we hit the algorithms or modeling phase, we spend 60% of our time on this. So that's the reason data visualization and data analysis tasks are one which is very important, and we need skills to develop that. That's one. Second, the programming or coding aspects are also equally important in this page, where you could look at something like Python programming, Spark, R, SQL, those kind of programming languages tools, right? That's second. Third, it's very important to have a fundamental grip, right, which is mathematics and statistics, right? So that's number three. And probability, linear algebra, all of that stuff included there. Then four.
Kamal, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Quick time check, right? We only have another 5 minutes and 20 seconds or so.
Correct.
So you can combine 2 and 3, right? And we have a PPT on that. So
yes,
I'll just go there.
Absolutely. Yes.
Through this.
Yeah, exactly. That is much better. Yeah. And then if you look at it, this is exactly in this line that I was mentioning about. And then the number 4, I mentioned about data visualization, then programming, then math and stats. Then fourth is your stats modeling or machine learning. And machine learning core is where, let me tell you one point there, you have to be really focused on some of the core machine learning before moving on to the advanced ones. Regression, classification, clustering, these things are extremely important because they are also used in your use cases in the industry much more effectively. While neural networks, reinforcement learning are great and picking up thick and fast, however, some of the core machine learning is very important. And then, of course, your deep learning, cloud computing stack, some of the other aspects of AutoML, machine learning optimization, operationalization, the ML ops, all of these things are there. And in addition to that, you'd see on the left-hand side, we have communication skills, domain expertise, and then, how do you handle the client stakeholder management? Those things are also equally important, right? So you did mention about that in addition to one of the questions was that, right? So it's kind of a self-awareness, networking, visibility, these are very important, and how we can derive that from as a person and then build those skills are equally important. That will give us to the growth, momentum, the leadership, and all that stuff. So I hope that was a quick brief about it. And if you have any questions, please feel free.
Yeah, great. And what I'll add is, so on the x-axis, you see it's technical skills. On the y-axis, you see these are more of your behavioral skills, handling people and communication and so on, right? And also domain expertise. So these are all So as you want to grow your career, you have to look at both the aspects. Okay, you can't just look at one aspect and say, you know, that's how it grow, right? As you grow from a junior to a senior to a more senior, you know, more and more of these start becoming more and more important in your career. Yeah? Then there are a few other things. Okay, so how do you grow your career? I think, you know, that's one more thing. You know, if somebody is looking at maybe getting into this field or growing their career, right? So let's say somebody is a data scientist, they want to become a principal data scientist or a director of data science. So certain other things are important. Okay, one is, first of all, knowing yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and you know how you play with your own strengths, right? That's very important. Networking is very, very important. A lot of us, you know, more techie people do not focus a lot on this. We feel that networking is an art, but no, networking is a skill. It can be learned. Okay, and that's what we learned in, you know, in our MBA days. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of people, but again, this is very important if you want to get ahead in your career. Okay, networking with peers, networking with seniors, you know, like-minded people in your industry. And then third one is visibility. Okay, creating a visibility. This is in an era of everybody selling, you know, their own skills. Okay, we are in a knowledge economy. Unless somebody knows you, you know, you will not grow, right? So you have to create visibility in your organization. You have to create your visibility in the industry you are in. Okay, and that's how, you know. So if you have all these ingredients together, that is how you can quickly grow your career.
Yeah. Since there are only less than 2 minutes to go, if you're all okay, we can relog into this again, and then can extend this for another 30-35 minutes because the questions are very
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Kamal, can we extend it? We'll answer some of these on LinkedIn probably. Okay, so you can get an answer to that. One quick thing I also wanted to share with you guys today is, you know, we are starting something called the AccelerateAI Learning Circle. Okay, this is launching today. So some of you said, I think Priyanka, you were saying that you know what to learn, but you don't know what is the pathway, right? How do I do that? Okay. So what we're trying to do is launch this learning circle. It's a, you know, subscription-based circle. What we'll do is, in a month, we'll every day send you one question on a particular topic. So the topic for December, when we start, it will be probability, and then go to R programming, stats, 1, 2, and so on. All the way up to 12 months. Okay, and you can subscribe only for a month. You can subscribe for the, you know, full year. Right, the choice is up to you. We'll do 2 hands-on sessions every month. One in which we'll explain about, you know, all the important things in that particular topic required for data science, and one where we'll just clear everybody's doubt. Okay, whatever doubts you have around that particular topic, and we'll give you coding exercises as well, and the solutions at the very end. Okay, so this is what we call as the learning circle, which is a foundation learning circle. The cost for this for students is $300 per month, and for working professionals it's only $400 or $399 per month, and the annual is $3,000 and $4,000. Okay, compare it with some of the others, you know, what they are charging.